everybody. Today we're going to learn about word problems. And just the thing about word problems, if your child or you see students are struggling with word problems, a way to always help with word problems is just making sure that comprehension is good. You can just read a sentence, asking them the main idea or what the sentence is about. I like to treat word problems just like reading. You read a word problem, you read a passage, and you first identify the main idea, and you identify those supporting details that go with that main idea. It's no different with a word problem. We're reading to comprehend what's happening in the word problem, what's the main idea of that word problem, and what details in that main idea, what details in that paragraph or problem support that main idea. Okay, so for you today, I've already written up and typed 2 word problems that we're going to work out. I'm going to show you some things that I do with my students in class to work through some steps and help us solve the word problem. Okay, so our first word problem we have here, it says Candace is saving up to buy her favorite video game that costs $45. How many days will she have to save if she plans to save $4 a day? Explain your answer. All right, so the first thing I would do in class is I would say, all right, guys, what is this paragraph or problem talking about? We know that the problem is talking about Candace is trying to buy her video game. So we're going to underline that. Candace is saving to buy her video game that costs $45. We see $45. What do we do with 45 or any number that we find is important? We're going to circle it. So I'm going to circle 45. What's something else that supports or gives us information about our main idea in Candace buying a video game? Well, we know that she's trying to save money. So we know we're going to underline she's saving money. And she's planning on saving $4 a day. And we're going to circle 4 because that's an important number. Now, what's our question? What are we trying to figure out? We're trying to figure out how many days will she have to save this money if she plans to save $4 a day. And I like to put a box around our question because that's what we know we have to answer at the end, okay? So, we know that we're talking about Candace saving money for her video game. We know her video game costs $45. We know that we're trying to figure out how many days, and we know she's saving $4 a day. So if I know that she's saving $4 a day, and I'm trying to make up to $45, I need to figure out some key words in here that will give me an idea of whether I'm going to add, subtract, divide, or multiply, or if I'm going to do a combination of both. Well, I know that if I'm trying to share out days or I'm saving money, that I'm more than likely going to divide. Is there a key word in here that tells me to divide? Let's see. How many days will she have to save money if she plans to save $4 a day? I would say that the key word would be save, because that tells me that I'm trying to put something away or stack my money. And when I know that I'm saving or putting something away or sharing something out, that means to divide. So my problem here is going to be 45 divided by 4. I did the old school way, yes. Or you can do it the new school way, whichever way you divide. So 4 goes into 4 one time. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. I'm going to bring down my 5. 4 goes into 5 one time. 1 times 4 is 4. 5 minus 4 equals 1. So I have a remainder of 1. What does all of this mean? If I have 11 remainder 1, what does that mean? That means that I would have 11 days it would take me to save close to it, but I would still have $1 left over. So I would have $44, but I have $1 left. So that really means that I would have to do another day to make the $45. So it says, how many days will she have to save money if she plans to save $4 a day? So when I tell my kids, especially when we're preparing for testing and things like that, take the words they've already given you in your question to formulate your answer and to write your answer. So how many days will she have to save money if she plans to save $4 a day? I will say, I know I'm talking about Candace. So Candace, my markers do not want to work today. Candace will have to save how many days will she have to save money if she plans to save $4 a day? Candace will have to save money for not 11, but one more day, which will make 12. So for 12 days, if I just have to add this, she plans to save $4 a day. You see how we just took the question and we just flipped it into our answer to write an answer, a complete sentence that answered the question. Pause it. Okay, so Candace will, and was just brought to my attention, I made a mistake. So Candace will have, I need to add the word have here, I made a mistake. It's okay, we can make mistakes. So Candace will have to save money for 12 days if she plans to save $4 a day. Okay, that's how we solve that problem, and we have a complete sentence using what our question asks us, using the same words in our question. We just turned it around and made it a sentence. Okay, let's look at our problem number 2 for our word problem. I'm trying to see if I can find colors that's going to cooperate with me today. Mrs. Rumley, hey, that's me, baked 3 dozen cupcakes to share with students in 3 of her 4th grade classes. There are 28 students. Does Ms. Rumley have enough cupcakes? Explain your answer. All right. So again, what's the main idea of this word problem? The main idea is that Ms. Rumley is baking 3 dozen cupcakes to share with 3 of her 4th grade classes. I know you guys are getting excited because y'all love eating my cupcakes. Okay, so I have 3 dozen. What does the word dozen mean? Dozen represents the number 12, so we're just going to put 12 there, to share with students in 3 of her 4th grade classes. That's important, but what's more important is that we know that Ms. Rumley has 28 students. So sometimes they give us information that we don't need everything, but we know that there are 28 students. That's important. So we're going to circle 28. Does Ms. Rumley have enough cupcakes? That's our question. We're going to put that in the box. Does Ms. Rumley have enough cupcakes? Explain her answer. Explain your answer. So the first thing when we're talking about the cupcakes, we first need to figure out how many cupcakes does Ms. Rumley have? How are we going to figure out how many cupcakes does Ms. Rumley have if we know she has 3 dozen, and we know dozen represents 12 represents for dozens. So 3 dozens. That's the same, that would look kind of like 3 dozens, which is the same thing as saying 3 times 12, which equals 36. So now we know that Ms. Rumley has 36 cupcakes. So if she has 36 cupcakes and she only needs enough for 28, what do we know about the number in comparison to 28? So what can we say about 36 in comparison to 28? When we're comparing numbers, that means we're using greater than, less than, or equal to. So what do we know about 36 and 28? Well, we know that 36 is greater than 28. So that means Ms. Rumley has more than enough cupcakes to feed 28 students. So does Ms. Rumley have enough cupcakes? Yeah, Ms. Rumley has more than enough. Explain my answer. So how could I say that in an answer? So I would say, yes, Ms. Rumley has enough cupcakes because, what did my number comparison say? 36 is greater than 28. 36 is greater than 28. So what do I take from this when I'm solving word problems? What I take from it is that I look at word problems no differently than I'm reading a book. I'm always trying to find the main idea in the word problem, and I'm trying to find those supporting details that give me information about that main idea. Word problems have to be broken down, okay? Break them down, find a strategy, underline important details, circle numbers, put a box around my question to help me break down that word problem and solve it, okay? If you have any questions, you can always email me, call me, give me a text. I'm here to help you, okay, guys? Have an awesome day. Love you.